It's a dinosaur, it's a dinosaur, it's a dinosaur. Hello again and welcome to another review, and today I'm looking at Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and it's yet another sequel with a meaningless subtitle. I meant to get this online a little while ago, but that E3 thing with all the video games that's in Los Angeles, I'd love to go to, but I can't afford. That was on, and it just trying to sort of fit that in with a normal day job. It was a bit of a nightmare, so that's why this has been delayed. Beforehand, I was anticipating yawning a great deal and also checking my watch while watching this. Thinking that the only plus it might have is that with this coming out on June the 6th, it would take people away from that bloody awful Solo a Star Wars story. Disney really needs to be taught a lesson from that. But then it looks like people have already given that a miss, so good on them. Now, the latter stages of Jurassic World itself, the last film that came out in 2015, hinted at a potential plot for this film. I'm going to talk about Jurassic World. If you've not seen that, then why are you watching a review about its sequel? Anyway, the character played by Vincent D'Onofrio, who was in, I first saw him in Full Metal Jacket. He's the one who goes a bit nuts and kills himself. Full Metal Jacket spoiler there, sorry. But that came out in 1987. If you haven't seen it, you really bloody should. He was seen trying to get away with as much of the dino DNA as he could, and then things didn't really go to plan, because the creatures swiftly dealt with him before he could escape. So that was that idea knackered. Although thinking about it now, I thought some of the baddies sort of still, or some of the sort of henchmen who worked for him, didn't they take some of it away as well? That's kind of by the by, because the main problem with this sequel is that, much like Solo, it has no reason really to exist. Now, dinosaurs were only ever really a surprise in the first film in 1993, and then after that the spectacle is gone. It was a welcome treat to see them still on BBC One's Walking with Dinosaurs back in 2001, because again it was kind of a first time we've seen them on TV for a TV show. But ever since then, nah. The question is, can Jurassic number 5 change my mind? But what about the plot, I hear you cry? Plot? Do we need one for these films? Well, the plan is for rich old Benjamin Lockwood and his underling Eli Mills to rescue as many of the dinosaurs off the island as they can before it explodes, since it's got a volcano on it. Whew. And the irony is that part of this film was actually shot in Hawaii. Oopsie. So, who can help do the necessary? Well, it's a case of getting the band back together, because the only people who can do it are Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. There's no way anyone in reality would go back to that island, because after what happened in Jurassic World, you'd be spending years in therapy. You would not be going anywhere near that island ever again. Of the student types hanging around with everyone else, I'll have my potential spoilery thoughts about Franklin behind a spoiler header, which is in my review in the video description below. When it comes to Zia, who's the female nerd, it's like where Bryce works. You can only get a job there when you're in your 20s if you have an attitude and a ridiculous tattoo scroll all over your bloody arm. Oh, and the chance to show it off at every opportunity. What is it with kids today? Why do they think that as soon as they turn 18 they're just going to riddle their body with all that shit? I don't get it at all. How's it going to look in like 20, 30 years' time? Not great. Aside from that, there's several arrogant army types all along for the ride, including one called Wheatley, who's very much sort of arrogant, sort of in the Robert Loggia role. I don't know how you pronounce it, but he very much sort of, he's very sort of arrogant and he knows best, that kind of thing. Jeff Goldblum also pops up again as Dr. Ian Malcolm. All he's doing really in this film is a bit pointless. He's giving his musings to Congress about the whole dinosaur situation and how far we've come since 1993, because it's 25 years since the first one. Can you believe it? But the lines in the film which he says, which lead to this film's tagline, "Life finds a way." Well, he doesn't say that in the film. That's Hollywood for you. What sort of new dinosaur is created in this film? Well, there's always one. Here it's the Indoraptor. But while there's lots of people all looking at it going, "Oh, it's amazing! It's a whole new creation. How can you do that? It's incredible!" I just looked at it and thought, it doesn't look any different from the others. Anyone in reality, they would think exactly the same as me. It's just, oh. But then, you know, I'm looking for reasoning in a bloody Jurassic Park film. But the plus is, yeah, I never felt bored through all the 128 minutes running time, which is actually the second longest Jurassic Park film we've had. The longest one, I understand, being Jurassic World, The Lost World, the second film anyway, The Lost World Jurassic Park. Why don't you just call it Jurassic Park 2? That one was 129 minutes. At least they don't go on and on and on and on, and on like flipping Avengers films. I also laughed quite a lot in this. Now, there might not have been wholly original things that I laughed at, but there's always times in this film where, I mean, you know, these sorts of films where people think they're safe, and suddenly a dinosaur pops out of nowhere. Now, a lot of these would be rather predictable, but I try not to second guess what's going to happen and just kind of let it happen in front of me. So I got a lot of fun out of that. Now, I'm going to get a bit sort of technical, a bit geeky now, because Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is the first in the series out of 5 so far, with definitely more to come, to be filmed in 2.39:1. So if you're watching a film on your TV, which is 16:9 generally, it's you'll get black bars on the screen. Now, Spielberg shot the first 2 films in 1.85:1. So now 16:9 is basically 1.78:1. So obviously in 1993 we were all watching on 4:3 TVs. So obviously you're watching in 16:9. So 1.85 you get very slight black bars to the point where most people won't even notice them. So the whole reason he did that was that the dinosaurs would look as big as possible on TV. And for Jurassic Park 3, Joe Johnston, who directed that one, continued the trend. And now in 2015, there's this sort of flipping idiot in. Colin Trevorrow opted for the rather odd 2.00:1 widescreen ratio. Now, yeah, if that was to Jurassic World. So that's somewhere in between 16:9 and 2.39:1. And now I expressed my thoughts about that oddity at the time. So I won't bore you with it now because I'm boring you now. I can see you're falling asleep at the back there. There are a whole manner of problems as to why it's a bad idea, but anyway, you'll see that in my review of Jurassic World. I'll put a link to that in the video description as well. As for this film, I watched it in 2D, and I can't see any point in watching it in 3D. It wasn't shot in 3D. No Hollywood films are really shot in 3D anymore. Certainly not since Transformers: The Last Night. That was the last one really to be shot in 3D. And it looked amazing. No one went to see it because it was the 5th Transformers film and nobody cared. But as for this film, again, not all of it takes place on the island. And for what does, which is probably about sort of a third to a half of the film, there's lots of fast cutting involved, and 3D doesn't work well with fast cutting because your eyes just can't focus on it. So all that just doesn't make any effective use of the 3D. Some bits and pieces which I've had to hide in my review, again for this one I'll put in the video description. I put them behind spoiler headings rather than blurt them out here. They also include various questions I had about the film, plus things which changed between the trailer and the film as it appeared in the cinema. And there's also a mention of the post-credits scene. Why is it always in films like this where people, when they travel to islands like that, they arrive in like a silly tiny little plane with only a skeleton crew? You know, they're going up against bloody dinosaurs. Do the math. What score, because you've heard some good and some bad, what score did I give it out of 10? Okay, please like this video and share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already, and cue Genesis.